Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jason Flame, host of the Master Motivation Podcast, and it is Tuesday. So we're going to talk about our Tuesday thoughts with my co-host here, Danny Cleary. And our word of the day, Danny, is fortitude.
Fortitude.
So what were you thinking when you brought up that word?
Fortitude and perseverance. I couldn't decide between the two, but fortitude sounded like, more like a, spelling bee word. So I went with that one. But it came to me because of an experience I had last weekend, 2 weekends ago, not this weekend, but the weekend before that. I was on my retreat for work with a bunch of young people. And I was sitting there during one of the activities, really powerful, kids just praying, being in community together. It was a really powerful thing. And I'm sitting there and at one moment I just kind of looked up and I saw all the kids engaged in the activity we were doing. And I kind of like flashed back to the years where we dealt with the pandemic and we didn't have this stuff. And I would keep telling everybody and saying this stuff on these videos, on the Tuesday thoughts. I'd say, don't worry, everyone. Like, it's going to be great again. It's going to be great again. And in that moment, I sat there and I went, oh man, like it's here. Like we made it. We did it. We got back to what we always wanted it to be. And so I thought about it. And then I was talking to my team and just kind of thanking them for their fortitude and perseverance, because they held strong the whole time when it felt like all we wanted to do was give up, because it's like it's never going to be the same. Like we might as well adapt to how it's going to be now, or kids are never going to want to do things the way that we had it before. Like, and they just never gave up. They always continued to push. They held strong, and we had an amazing experience because they didn't give up. And so that's where my thoughts are today, is like there's so many things in life, I think, where it can seem like so far away or like so impossible to get things the way that we want to. But we're called to practice that fortitude and hold strong and persevere, and it will come. Maybe not as fast as we want, right? Like it took me 3 years to get to this moment where I sat there and went, oh my gosh, we did it.
Right.
Every video where I told everyone it was going to be okay, every video where I told everyone we're going to get back to normal, we're going to get back to what we want. I had this moment where I sat there and I honestly burst into tears sitting on the ground, because I was so like, oh my gosh, how incredible that we did it.
Yeah. How awesome is that? We were talking, I was talking to someone on another podcast recently, about all the downside of COVID, the pandemic, and what we went through. But on the flip side, my daughter, as you know, was class of 2020. She didn't even have a high school graduation. And we often refer to that class of 2020 and everywhere, close to that time these kids are going to be more resilient to so many things than you and I may ever have, because we never had to deal with that. We didn't have to go through that. And the amount of, like you said, the perseverance, the fortitude that they had, it's just amazing, right? I mean, how much it shaped them in a positive way, right? So, real quick, since people are watching and we haven't really done, a big update on you and what you do. You talked about this retreat. Can you tell everybody, what this retreat is and what you were doing?
Yeah. So basically I work here at Holy Cross. We talk about, I'm the youth minister and I assist with the confirmation program, which is like the last, in the Catholic Church, the last sacrament of initiation for them to be in the church, And so what this is it's done in the sophomore year of high school, or a 2-year program. Several kids are maybe juniors or seniors, depending on when they sign up, but it's done after 2 years of formation. And this retreat is kind of the culmination of that formation before the big, the sacrament in May. So this retreat, what it does is it exactly what it says it does. It retreats them from regular life. And it's very powerful because it takes their phones away, takes their social media away, it takes their normal friends away, it takes their normal schedules away, and it lets them kind of just focus on their relationship with God, number one, is what our goal is, but also who they are wanting to be, and the ability to communicate with uh with each other, because they don't have phones.
Mm-hmm.
For 72 hours, they don't have phones. We give them 5 minutes at the end of the night to, here, check your what did you miss today? But other than
Mm-hmm.
that, like, it's time for them to communicate and talk to each other at meals. We see sometimes families, when you go to a restaurant, everyone in the family is looking at their phone.
Mm-hmm.
But at these meal times on a retreat, you see kids talking to each other, goofing off, because that's what's there to do during these games and activities. It gets them to not be afraid to look inside of themselves and be vulnerable, and be open to, in my point of view, of who God is calling them to be, and the best version of themselves is what I'm hoping that they will
Mm-hmm.
realize that's who God is pushing them to be. And this retreat is just a really special thing. It was a tremendous weekend. Like, honestly, one of the best ones. I've been doing this. I was frightened to tell you, but to say it out loud. But I have, next year, when the kids go next year on retreat, I'll be able to tell them I've been doing retreats longer than they have been alive.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts.
Yeah. So, like, for like in the last 15 years of doing or helping with retreats through high school and of course into my adult life, this one in particular, this year, was truly remarkable. Um, and I've seen the fruits of it as well. The fortitude, through the fortitude of the kids and through our team, is at our events here on a weekly basis. The numbers are going up, the attitudes are going up. Kids don't, when a kid walks into a room, they're just looking at their phone, they don't want to communicate with anybody. But after the retreat, when they start coming into the room, it's, hi, hey,
Mm-hmm.
what's up, how's your week? They're more willing to talk, they're more willing to share. It was truly an incredible weekend, and something that I'm going to hold on to. And it gave me inspiration to continue, and to push further, to go deeper, and to uh, continue this kind of uh, growth that we've had. It was really remarkable.
Mm-hmm. I have to say, I know that you and I could both agree that we've been guilty at times of being stuck on our phone, and
Oh,
not making that
addicted.
communication, or being stuck on our phone scrolling through Facebook longer than we are spending time with God or
Sure,
talking with God,
sure.
right? And you brought up how you can see it at restaurants, families all sitting on their phone. Again, definitely been guilty there. and
Absolutely.
and and so that, what a great, my point is, what a great opportunity for these kids to be stripped of the the stresses, and just the hustle and bustle of their life with school and all they've got going on, to really just open up to each other, open themselves up to God, and to learn and to grow. You don't hear this enough. And I've been fortunate that both of my kids have gone through the program with you, and how grateful as a parent I am for you, that someone that takes time out of their, not just day, but days, the preparation that went into getting ready for this weekend. I know how hard you work. I know the amount of passion that you have for these kids, and to bring them to that spot to where they can really open themselves up. I just want to tell you, in front of all right now, that we appreciate it so much. The parents, I know how much they appreciate it, because again, I've had that experience, and you're doing an amazing job. You're literally doing God's work, right? And so much appreciated. And I love this video. I love this time. We work out almost every day together. Not as much lately because you've been prepping, but we work out all the time. And I don't get a chance to tell you that, and just recognize you for all that you do. And you are so appreciated at our church, and everything that you do, and your family as well.
I appreciate that a lot, and I'll say this because it's how I was taught to do ministry. Um, I'll quote, or I won't quote, but I'll refer to John the Baptist in the scripture. And he always said, whenever anyone told him that he was doing great things, he said, I am merely the vessel. There is a greater one to come. And I feel that way. I am merely the vessel. It's God who does it. And he's the one that gives me the like my bracelet said, he gives me the strength and the power to do what I do for the young people. All I'm trying to do is show them that the world that's going to tell them who to be, how they have to act, what's cool, and a lot of stuff that sometimes is emptying for these young people. And it's hard. It's hard. And to go back to our word, it's hard for them to have fortitude in holding strong, because high school is so, there's so much thrown at them all the time. It's hard to kind of stay steadfast in your faith, or steadfast in who you want to be, your morals, your values. But what did it for me, what gave me that fortitude, was when I realized I couldn't do it, when I could not defeat all of these things, or I could not be this person by myself. I needed God. And once I realized I couldn't do it and I needed God, it became a lot easier, because then I had someone to lean on. So that's my big message with all that.
Well, thanks for sharing that, and thanks for bringing this topic up with us today. And thank you. I believe that's Juanita. You're always out there watching, Juanita. Thank you for watching. I enjoy these conversations with Danny. I look forward to the Tuesday thoughts, because, we do talk a little bit more about faith-based life lessons, and we try to relate that word to how we grow in our faith. And so I appreciate you sharing this time with me today, and I hope that we get to work out tomorrow together. And
sure.
We'll keep coming up with new words every week, guys. If you enjoyed this video today, please subscribe to the Master Motivation Podcast, as well as sharing these videos. This is, I think we're working up towards a dozen of these videos online, and you could even go back, and I think we could find some of Danny's Tuesday thoughts from prior years, where how long did you do the Tuesday thoughts? Over a year, right?
Yeah, like a year and a half, every Tuesday for a year and a half. I have a backlog of so many, like over 60 videos.
Yeah,
I did.
Well, we're gonna bring them back, and we're gonna bring them here every Tuesday. So thanks again for your time. Hang out for just a minute, and I look forward to seeing everybody check in with us next time on the Master Motivation Podcast. So thank you guys, and make it a great day.
Peace.